7:30. So we're getting ready to do that as soon as
Let me know
everything
when it
comes up
changes over,
here.
man, because
I'm
my
waiting
screen
for it
goes
to flip.
blank here. I
I'm
don't get to
waiting
see
for
you
it to
guys.
flip. It's showing us live on my end on the computer, but I'm still waiting on YouTube to pull up. And there we are. Oh man, first thing I seen was your face,
No,
DC. Whoa,
that's not good.
that was
It's
bad.
not
Whew,
good. I could scare
that was
people that
scary.
way.
I'm just glad they didn't see mine first.
All
Everybody would
right,
have been
so you got
leaving.
YouTube Live, right?
YouTube Live is up, TikTok's
All right,
up. We
very
are
good.
ready to start this thing.
All right, let me get our
Another
intro and we'll
Wednesday
get
night.
going. All
All
right.
right.
Hi, this is Ivan from Men Without Hats, and you're listening live from Nashville to the D&D Dynamite 80s podcast with DC and DH.
Live from Nashville, Tennessee, you are listening to the D&D Dynamite 80s podcast with your hosts, DC and DH. So guys, take it away.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another episode of D&D Dynamite 80s on our regular Wednesday night podcast. I'm DH.
I am DC.
And we're here to take another fantastic look back at all things 80s. Got some great guests tonight.
Yes, we do.
DC, I just have to ask a question, man. How much do we pay that guy that does the intro?
Not a thing, but he ought to get signed up.
Well, that's good. For the quality that was, that's the perfect rate.
Right. I'll get 0.
Yes, you get the same amount I get, so it's all good. How's your week been,
Right.
brother?
Smooth and easy, man. We're getting close to Thanksgiving break, and kids want it, and I want it. So
we are ready for it. Yes.
Yes.
Man, I am so excited tonight. Two amazing artists, and they're actually this is unique. I think this is the first time we've ever had two individuals that's been on the show that are amazing artists that are now combining
together their efforts.
So this is going to be amazing. So DC, I'm gonna let you go ahead and do the introductions here.
Yes,
and, we'll get this one started because I know people don't want to hear me and you talk.
Yeah, that's exactly right. No, we're honored to have Ryan Christopher with us. He does the Journey tribute. I've had the pleasure of seeing Ryan several different times over the years. And Shareen and King with us as well. And she does the Heart Tribute, Barracuda, out of Nashville as well. How are you guys?
Awesome.
Good. Doing well. Thanks.
Fantastic. We were talking off air a little bit that we need to get you guys here. Have you performed here locally? I know you've done some stuff out of state. But I try to keep up with your websites and your socials and all that, but I haven't seen anything to you two combined together here locally. Is that right?
I think the closest that we've come is Franklin. Isn't that right, Ryan?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Franklin
so
Theater.
We performed at the Franklin Theater.
Okay.
And then also performed at the Park Theater in McMinnville, which is a little ways away.
Yeah.
But I can make I guess it's a sneak peek announcement.
Awesome.
We have a date that we're going to be announcing over at Cannery at the Mill.
Okay, yes.
Coming up.
Oh, fantastic.
At the beginning of the year. So,
okay.
Awesome.
All right. We'll have to try to get out there and see that one for sure.
Yes, definitely. And I'm extremely excited because this is a fusion that I think fans of 80s music are just like going to go crazy over.
Yeah.
I mean, Journey and
what a combination.
What brought this idea about? That's
absolutely
where I want to start
at. Well, let me start. Back when our band was back to Avalon, the Heart Tribute, that was the first name of the band. We were playing at 3rd and Lindsley, and we had the pleasure to open for Resurrection and Ryan. And that's the first time I heard Ryan, and I could not believe what I was hearing, like so many people out there. And I thought, wow, God, what an incredible voice. And so time went on, and I got to thinking over the time, wouldn't it be wonderful to sing with Ryan in some capacity? And we were asked back to open for them another time. And then Ryan had asked me to do a duet with him. And I think we did Open Arms, right, Ryan?
That's right.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay.
And that's where the spark started, that musical magic. And then I had heard that Ryan was down with back surgery and that he probably wasn't going to be going out with Resurrection again. And I thought, ooh. And I talked to my husband, Doug, about it. And I said, well, what do you think? And he goes, you better call Ryan. And I said, you know what? I will. So I did. I called him and I said, what do you think about doing something together? Like Journey to the Heart or Journey. I couldn't think of a real good name. And then so, Ryan says, Journey from the Heart. Let's go with it. Yeah. He goes, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So, and this was after some time that he had to go and think about it and decline all the other crazy offers that he had. Right. But he came back and finally said yes to me. So I was so excited to do it. And so now it's come to life and we've done, I don't know how many shows now, Ryan. How many?
It's close to 30. 30
Wow.
shows.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Is it
Fantastic.
really? Well,
Yeah.
wow. Time goes by when you're having a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, most certainly.
And Shareen, I have to say, that is the coolest toy, I guess wooden soldier, toy soldier, whatever you want to call it. That is the coolest thing.
Oh, wow.
It's Bucky.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. I was like, is that Bucky? I was, yeah.
I had to. On our last stop back from the show, I had to pick him up.
That is fantastic.
See,
That's
now,
Merry Christmas.
Very observant there, DH.
yeah, and see, now that she shared that with us, we can charge Bucky's advertisement for all of us.
Right. Right. Oh. Shareen, I guess, how do you split the time doing Barracuda and this? Is that challenging?
Well, it hasn't been thus far. We have a few shows on the books here, but Journey from the Heart's really taken off. And so we're excited to bring more dates to everybody for 25, and the calendar's already populating. And so just continue to watch journeyheartmusic.com.
Yeah.
It's gonna be explosive.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen some video. It seems like the guys in the band really enjoy doing the Journey stuff too.
Yes.
They love it.
Okay. Yeah.
In fact,
that
I
is
think it's
very obvious.
Our bass player, Mick Nantel, he just recently picked up the same bass that Ross Valerie used on the Escape tour. That's how excited he is.
Wow.
So
Man.
yeah, he's actually finding some cool gear out there.
That is
Yeah.
cool.
That is cool
so
stuff.
cool. But it's just amazing that bringing these two sounds together.
Mm.
I mean, because, and I remember going to concerts back in the 80s, and it was always, the opening band was always, a really good band that led up to the headliner. But you guys have actually meshed two headliners, and that's just amazing to me to be able to go out one night and see both. So
Yeah.
I just think it's
Yeah.
amazing the concept y'all have come up with.
Yeah. What kind of feedback do you get?
It's just outstanding. It
Yeah.
really is. It's
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. I'm really just overwhelmed at what people are saying, that just
Yeah.
with the two bands, because they're so iconic, and the voices of Steve Perry and Ann Wilson
Sure.
together. And that's what people are saying. I had cold chills through the entire
Yeah.
show.
Yes.
And you guys just nailed everything, you and your band. It's just such precision. And yeah, it's something to be seen, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. Ryan was mentioning right when we got started about it's a unique, special thing you have going that's different, and that's I think DH would agree with that. He was kind of he was
definitely.
kind of tap dancing around that too.
Yeah, definitely.
That it was unique. And here's the thing: I would say promoters and people that y'all deal with to get these shows, I bet they're foaming at the mouth for it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They have to be, I would think. Have you found it
Exactly.
pretty easily? Found some of it to be pretty easy to book shows?
Yeah,
Right.
it hasn't really been that difficult booking shows. The only thing that's been challenging, of course, is just getting the word out. It's still a new
Sure.
project, so it takes a little time to marinate in people's minds to get them to understand the concept. But I think the coolest thing about the project that we've made from a business perspective is that it's offered in a couple of different formats. So in some instances, we want somebody, a buyer might come in and they might say, hey, we want heart to open for Journey, short intermission in between, a classic show like you'd see in the 80s. And then we have, Shareen and I have something that we prefer called our combo show. And our combo show is fantastic because we basically will do 2 or 3 Journey songs. I throw her the mic. She does some heart stuff. We've brought in a new Nancy Wilson. Her name is Ann Coleman. Fantastic, the chemistry between her and Shareen. So it's neat to see that. And then we put the cherry on top, and sometimes we share the stage together to duet.
Wow.
That's
That's
really
awesome.
fun for me, especially because I love to surprise the audience by jumping on stage and performing the same notes that Ann does.
Yeah.
And of course, Shareen likes to knock them dead by going, "Hey, yeah, you know what? I'm going to steal this Steve Perry line for a minute." So we keep them on their toes, and
Yeah.
the
That's
audience
awesome.
takes it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And DC, I'm going to jump in here and say that Shareen shared something there that I think you and I have never experienced. Being, a new
Probably
project,
not.
being a new project, their feedback was outstanding. I don't think we've ever heard
No, we don't
that.
get feedback like that. No, I
we
knew
would-
where
we-
you were going.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
want some. We've heard out like get out, but I mean that's about
Yeah. Yeah, we don't get that kind of feedback. Yeah, you're
No.
right.
But it is amazing.
The only feedback we get would be from our own views, I
Right,
guess.
right.
Right. Oh wow,
But
that's
it
funny.
is amazing, Ryan, when you were kind of mentioning that crossover, that I think is the dynamic that everybody would be coming to see, is that kind of awe factor of both of you kind of crossing over, and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and I
absolutely.
think that's how we sell it too. It's interesting because I think Shareen was the first one to come up with this statement, but you can ask your audience, you can simply say, "Have you ever imagined Steve Perry and Ann Wilson doing a concert together?" Well, now you don't have to guess anymore. You can come and actually see it
Yeah.
because we're representing the music to its nth degree. We've both been involved in tributes for almost a combined 30 something years.
That was my
We know
next
what the
question.
audience
Yeah.
wants. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ryan, I got to ask this: does it feel a little different for you not to dress
Yes.
the part? Talk to me
Yes.
about that. How different that is for you?
So it's an interesting thing. I'll go back a little bit. I won't take too much time, but I'll go back a little bit. When I first started Journey Tributes was back in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know what a tribute was. I didn't understand the concept. You do the band's music. I mean, I really didn't understand anything beyond that.
Yeah.
So I had some stage fright, always have since I was young.
Really? Okay.
So when I started with that band, I basically just wore some regular rock gear and I threw some sunglasses and a baseball cap on to kind of hide my eyes and make myself feel more comfortable. Fast forward to 2007, and the booking agents are like, "We're not going to book you if you don't look the part." And I was like, "What am I going to do?" So that's when the first wig came in, and boy, that was great. That first wig was cut straight across the forehead, looked like it had a bowl cut in the front. It was hideous. But fast forward, the tails came into the picture, the leopard print. I did that for 15 years. I dressed the part.
Yep.
And after I left Resurrection in November of 22, I really wasn't sure, like Shareen said, where I was going to go. And I prayed about it pretty hard. I was like, "Lord, you need to lead me." I didn't know if I was going to, try to be the next Danny Goki or if I was going to get back into the tribute scene. I really didn't know where I was going to go. And when Shareen brought it to the table and said, "Hey, let's try this," and I prayed about it again, and a couple of weeks later accepted the offer, I just knew in my heart that I wanted to represent the music and I wanted to hit that stage as Ryan Christopher, as myself.
Sure.
And I've had great feedback from the audience. There's an occasional fan that probably misses the fantasy of seeing Steve Perry on stage.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's great feedback I'm getting from the fans just to
That's awesome.
see me on that stage.
Well, I have to compliment you on doing that, though, and then we'll try to leave that part alone. But and I've talked to you before, and like I said, I've seen you several times. The mannerisms, the dress, the sound, all those things. I mean, spot on. You had even down to the Nike shoes.
That's right.
Just amazing
And
performance.
speaking of great compliments, D. Brace Jr. has joined in, and wanted me
Thank
to
you very
share.
much.
Wanted me to share. They are incredible. Go see a show. You won't regret it. So thank you for that. Yes,
That's
I
awesome.
agree.
Yeah, and I'll say
Yeah.
one last thing, DC. It's not just about being able to not wear a wig or not
Mhm.
dress like 1981 escape Steve Perry.
Right.
Still have the opportunity to kind of to use a little bit of his dress, and this is something that Shareen and she's been helping me with the wardrobe side of it because I'm the kind of person that likes t-shirts and cargo shorts, and that's just me. That's who I am. So when I go to try to put myself together, I don't really have a definition of who that was. I've been dressing like Steve Perry for so long
Sure.
that
Yeah.
it's been really challenging for me. So what I decided to do is I said, you know what? Plain black or white tees and some nice black jackets that he used to wear later in his career. If you see what he wears now, he's kind of a black slacks kind of guy with some nice dress shoes, and I want to represent that in the theater environments and that sort of thing, and then
Yeah.
maybe wear something with a little rock edge on the outside, like fairs and festivals, that sort of thing. But it's been a
Right.
challenge. That's been one of the hardest things for me, believe it or not. The singing is easy.
Right.
Creating an image for yourself is 1,000 times harder.
Right. Oh, wow. Yeah, go ahead, DS.
I was just going to say, I think it's time for the most important question of the evening. And the reason I say that, I get so excited about this question because I like the free breakfast.
Well, I'm sure you
So-
do, because I always lose.
So this question, now this isn't, now DC always says I try to cheat and influence. And I don't know why he says that, just because, I battle against the wind. I always take the underdog and go against the wind. So I don't
Yeah.
try to influence anything. So what we do is we give you two artists and you get to choose based on whatever you want, which artist you prefer. And DC, like I said, he says I always cheat, and I just stand over here and turn the page while I'm reading this. So I don't, I'm not even going to give the names out. I'm going to let DC give the names out while I turn the page and kind of look at my next set of questions. So I'm going to turn
Right.
my page while DC gives the names out.
Right, right. What we do in the past, who has Journey been up against? Because I wore you out on that
We
one. I think
did,
I had Journey. Who was Journey against?
We had them, was it Def Leppard?
May have been.
I think it was.
Wow.
I don't remember.
May have been. We've had some dandies. Michael
Oh, yeah.
Jackson against Prince.
Whew.
Van Halen and Motley Crue.
Van Halen versus Motley Crue.
And
We've
then
had a bunch.
We've had some kind
Some
of
flops.
Elvis, I guess. Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah,
which-
some-
and
yeah.
like,
Yeah. Well, tell them how you came up with that one.
So
I was like, what?
So we're
What
getting
are you
ready to change
doing?
it up. So I'm riding around on a Sunday morning and I have XM radio on, and I go from the Elvis channel to the Buffett channel, and I thought, hey, that could be interesting. It wasn't interesting.
No, it wasn't. It was a landslide on that one.
Yes.
No, but this one we've got.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm turning my page here, DC.
Yeah, I know
Okay,
that.
Okay, go ahead. I'm good.
All right, so we got Bob Seger versus Eddie Money.
Now, this whole background is, before y'all decide, I want you to know what's at stake. Every Friday morning,
Yes, tell them.
we are a highly produced show here. We do our show recap at the local Waffle House on Friday morning.
That's our board meeting.
So, and
Count me
whoever's,
in.
yes, come on down. Whoever's artist does not get picked buys breakfast that morning. So, oh, wait a minute. I got to turn my page from a note here. Oh, so that's how it works. Whoever loses buys breakfast. So, there's a big stake riding on this right now for breakfast.
Okay.
Oh, so what do you think, Shareen?
Digger.
Seger.
Oh, I should have.
Okay.
I celebrated early. We still have one more vote.
Oh,
I was going to say that's a tough one. You know what? I'm going to be honest because transparency is everything to me. I don't know enough of Seeger's music. I mean, I know what I've heard on the radio, but I would probably go with Eddie Money because I like his entertainment, showmanship. I think if you compare the two of them as far as who's going to put on a show in your face, hard rock, it's going to be Eddie Money.
Yeah.
So, Ryan,
yeah.
we appreciate your vote, but it didn't count today. So,
Glad to be a
Oh,
part of
man.
something that isn't going to be
Yes.
kept on the record. All right, great.
yeah.
How- Both of you guys are not local here, correct?
Shareen is.
I am local. I'm in Nashville.
Well, no, I'm sorry. That's not how I worded it. You're not originally from here, is what I meant to say.
No.
Neither one? Okay. You probably have not heard of this. They had Starwood Amphitheater.
Yes.
Back in the day. Okay.
Yep.
Murfreesboro Road. Yep. And I want to say, DH, this was like 1988 or 87, maybe 87 when it first opened. WKDF was the radio station in town at the time that played rock music. 103. KDF 103.3. Anyway, they had every summer, they would put on what they called One for the Sun.
Yes.
One for the Sun concert and bring in a lot of talent. Anyway, I seen Eddie Money. Eddie Money was the headliner like the very first year at Starwood when they did that show. And you're right. He was very, very showman. Big time. Big time. And like you said, in your face kind of guy. And I want to say, DH, that he was a former detective, like in New York or something.
Really?
Yeah, I think he was a detective at one time in New York. Wow. So that makes a little bit of sense. That, he was that kind of hard in your face, kind of rough guy, kind of mentality sometimes with his music. But
and not to take anything away from Bob Seger.
No, gosh, no.
He probably is in the catalog of what we consider American. Like that.
That's true.
On the radio, that's
the guy you would think of.
Classic.
Yeah. That's true.
He deserves his respect.
And we thought about putting him up against Bruce Springsteen, but we kind of thought that would be a landslide.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love Seger and Springsteen,
right.
but it's kind of hard to compete with what the bosses, has put out.
Yeah.
So,
right. Right.
When you perform a song called "Born in the USA," you really you can't really one up that.
Yeah. You're all Americana then.
But speaking of Starwood, that kind of brings me to a question I like to ask.
Yeah.
When you're performing, do you prefer like smaller venues, larger venues? Is there a preference, or what is the difference between the two for you?
I personally love the larger venues only because I just love to see all of the seats full.
Sure.
There's more people to enjoy the music,
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. But there's something to be said about the smaller, intimate crowds too, though, because it does kind of feel somewhat of closeness, that you can relate to people more one-on-one, and the meet and greets are smaller and they can be a little more extensive than just a quick wave or a picture at some of the larger events that we do.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. I would
Brian,
agree.
what about you?
I think I would agree with Shareen. I think there's a time and a place for both. I can remember we did the New York State Fair this past year, and I think the crowd was somewhere in the 20,000 person range. And when you get to that level, it's like, wow, crowd's into it. They're super loud. You can feel the energy. That's really, really exciting. And those are great gigs. But then you can also play at the Franklin Theater to 350 people. And those 350 people are die-hard Journey and Heart fans and came to see you. And there's a different kind of energy there.
That's a great point.
A lot of those fairgoers, they got a ticket to the fair. They heard the concert going. They showed up. They may not even be uber fans of the bands that we represent. But yeah, those ticketed events, I think, are the ones that tell us, hey, they love the music and they came here to see us perform it at its best degree.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And I'm going to kind of follow up to that. We went here recently. We were privileged to go down and be guests of the Roy Band and watch them perform and do a live show while we were there. And one of the things I noticed in the audience, and I guess I'd never really paid attention before, but was to watch so many different people experiencing it so many different ways and kind of in their own area. So my question leading to that is, as an artist on stage, is that something that you guys pick up on or are able to see? I know the lights are in your eyes, so you may not be able to see a lot of it, but just seeing those individuals throughout the audience, having those, I don't want to call them flashbacks, but reliving those moments, is that something you guys pick up on?
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah. especially if they're close enough for me to see with my one contact that I wear. But yeah, I do see them, and it's incredible to watch, especially when they're overcome with emotion and they're crying, and that the music is touching them, and bringing them
Absolutely.
back to
What a
that
gift.
place and
Yeah, what a
time.
gift you're giving. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
absolutely.
yes.
It's wonderful.
You're giving, and we've talked about this to other performers. You must feel very, very proud that you're giving the gift for people to 2 hours, hour and a half, whatever your show is. You're helping them to escape back to fun times when some things may be hard in their life at the moment.
Absolutely.
What a gift that
Oh,
it's got to
yeah.
be. Got to be that.
It's amazing, especially when you look at it through, I recently, after my surgery in 23, it was January of 23, I recently came back to my faith and rediscovered God, and it was an amazing, experience. But it changes your perspective. It shifts the way that you think. It's not pride in yourself. It's not pride in the talents you possess. It's not an ego trip like a lot of, rock musicians especially get caught up in this idea that I'm better than the rest of the populace because I have this thing that I can do. It shifted my perspective, especially. I've never really been egotistical. I've been mostly humble about my gift. But when you see the looks on people's faces and what they're experiencing during the show, then you go to the autograph table or to the photo booth and people are sharing their personal stories with you. It's not just touching, it can be sometimes devastating. I've had people come up to me, and this one experience in my mind is never going to go away. It was a resurrection show that I did in Springfield, Illinois. I'm sorry, Springfield, Ohio. And there was this couple that would come to the show every time that we were there. And I think it was 3 years in a row they were coming. And it was two young kids in their 20s, just got married, had their whole lives ahead of them. And I think it was the third or fourth time that we were there and we did the show. And she came up to me and told me that her husband had passed away in a car accident and he was 24. But she came to that show because Journey was their thing. And when she hears the song Faithfully, she's reminded of the love that they shared even for the short time that they were able to share it. So
Absolutely.
Shareen can tell you stories like this too. That gift is something that is divine. We're given a talent to be able to express music and allow people to travel back in time to experience the good, the bad, the ugly. And they thank us for it. And it's an amazing experience. It's an incredible job to have.
And that's the thing I want to add. I would just like to, as someone that, goes to the shows and enjoys them and has that downtime. I just want to thank you for sharing y'all's gifts to everyone out there, because what y'all do is truly amazing. I couldn't carry a tune in a bucket, and I would run people off, but you guys and
2 buckets.
You probably take a trailer truck if I tried to carry it too. But the gift that you guys give people is just amazing. So I want to thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome. And thank you all for what you do. This is tremendous.
We have a good time with it.
Hey,
I don't know how good it is, but we have a blast.
I was going to say, we've heard it called a lot of things. Tremendous is one of the best. We're going to keep that one.
Well, we're going to keep that.
It's great.
That is recorded, right? That is recorded.
Yes.
Okay.
We've got that one on record. We're going to use that as a new intro.
Oh, wow. Well, talk to us about some upcoming stuff you got going on. I know you already said something about 2025 is looking really good starting out. So, yeah, talk to us a little bit about what you think's going to happen with you in the future with this.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what. We've got a couple of dates that are already on our calendar for Facebook events and on our website. Our website is journeyheartmusic.com. They can access us there. Facebook, Instagram, we're at Journey Heart Music, so it's pretty easy to find us. But we have some pretty cool stuff coming up. The Niswonger Performing Arts Center in Greenville, South Carolina, has asked us to come in. We have a whole bunch of state fairs that are going to be signing back up with us this year. And without letting too much out of the bag, we have about 32 dates at the moment that are waiting contract signing and confirming. So we're
that's
working hard behind the
fantastic.
scenes. And this is what happens. Most bands are like this, but especially tributes. This is kind of the ramp down season. The winter time is where we kind of ramp up for the spring, summer, and fall.
Okay.
So we got a lot of announcements that are going to be coming in the next several weeks and months.
Fantastic.
Wow, amazing. One last question, DC. I know we're getting to that point, but I have one last question, and I always like to end it this way. Now, I know being on D&D Dynamite 80s was like the very top thing on your wish list, bucket list ever. We're gonna take that.
You can
off.
check that off. Yeah.
We're
That's
gonna take that
awesome.
one off your list because it's done.
Twice.
What would be
That's right.
either the place you would love to perform or something like that on your bucket list? What would be the biggest to do on your bucket list besides D&D? We're taking that one off.
Right.
And by the way, before you answer, I'm going to go
Yeah.
ahead and tell you either congratulations or condolences, whichever way you want to look at it.
They're family.
Yeah, y'all are already family and you're in. So either congratulations or we're sorry, whichever way you want to take it.
I would have to say Madison Square Garden.
Ooh, that's a great one.
Awesome. Yeah.
That is a great one.
Yes, and Red Rock out in.
Oh, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those two, yeah, right now, boom.
Oh man, those are two awesome
Wow,
ones.
you talking
They
about
sure are.
good company. I mean, they're right up there with us on D&D.
For sure. And I'm going to agree with Shareen. Red Rocks that's been one of the ones on my bucket list for probably the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I've even reached out to the venue a couple of times and haven't really had a whole lot of response. And sometimes it's because you're not the right agency. And that's the cool thing. We partnered with 1271 Entertainment. That's Jeff Hill. He used to work for APA.
Wow.
We've got a couple of other agents in Nashville that we work with. We're also working with Triangle Talent, which is an organization that does a lot of our fairs and festivals. So we're hoping that one of them is going to be able to get the right word.
Make that happen.
That
Yeah. Yeah.
But the other
is
thing
that in the Denver area?
Yeah, Denver, Colorado.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's really cool if you ever get a chance to look it up online. It's a natural amphitheater. So
I'm a big Steve Miller fan, and he loves that venue.
Yep.
There's a YouTube show where the whole thing is filmed, and he's at the Red Rocks.
Awesome.
And he talks about how he loves coming to that venue and performing. Yeah.
And I'll say the only thing that makes me a little leery about performing there, and Shareen will probably share this fear, is the fact that when you're in Colorado and you're miles above sea level, for singers like us, where we're singing high and we've got a lot of breath control, that oxygen level up there is a little tricky.
That makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I hadn't thought of that, but that makes complete sense.
Well, Ryan, I'll tell you right now, I will call Red Rock tomorrow. It's not going to do any good. They're not going to take my call.
We can try.
I will call them.
Right.
Hey, they'll listen to you, man.
Right. Yeah, they'll listen to us for sure.
Yeah,
right.
They'll listen like this. Click.
Click.
Okay.
Right. Oh, wow.
Oh, and to add to that, one of the newest places is the Sphere in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Yes. I think I've seen you two do some stuff in there. They had a concert or something that was just mind blowing.
Yes.
In that place. Yeah. That's a great one too. She's come up with several neat ones.
I think there's a couple of places that I'd like to play too. Like, with Journey and Steve Perry, some of their iconic places. I've never played in the city of Detroit. Never played there.
Wow.
I've never played in Houston, Texas. I played in San Antonio and I played in Fort Worth, Dallas. Never played in Houston. So some of those iconic places, even Tokyo, like that was a huge deal for Steve Perry.
Wow.
Back in the 80s.
Yeah. Absolutely was.
And it's amazing.
How about San Francisco, where they were from?
Yeah, that's right.
You have?
Yeah.
Have you played? You haven't played there.
I played there once.
Oh, you did?
So
Okay.
yes,
Yeah, awesome.
and that was early on. That was 2015, maybe the second year the band was together.
Wow.
We
Okay.
did, we went to the San Francisco, what is it? What's the name of their baseball team?
The Giants? Uh-huh.
We went to the
Giants
Giant
Stadium?
Stadium and
Okay.
played outside of the venue as people were coming in, and that was a pretty
Awesome.
cool thing.
That is
Oh,
cool.
man,
I
that
mean,
is neat.
these venues y'all are mentioning are like really major compared to ours. I mean, we go to the local Dollar General and we may get to Kroger one day. That's fine. So that is impressive.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
hey, let me make you feel a little better, DH. Here's the deal. Like, I don't know if every musician in Nashville has tried this, but I have. I decided to grab a guitar player friend of mine. We went downtown to Broadway. We opened up the guitar case. I sang. He played for 2 hours. We made $7.25 that
Wow.
night. So enough to go to
Interesting.
Taco Bell.
Interesting. Yeah, there you
Yeah. Hey, but here's the bad
get
thing.
the menu. Yeah,
If DC and I tried that, we'd have to give away $7 before
Right.
we can leave. I'd be like, y'all so bad. You got to give us money.
Yeah, we'd be in the
Yeah.
negative.
It's definitely about finding your tribe, where you got to
Yes.
go for
There
people
you
to love.
go. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Oh,
Before we get y'all out of here, I'm curious because you've been around the Nashville area for a good while now and all that. And for us that's grown up, we grew up here. That place has changed so much, hasn't
it
it?
has.
It's so much variety of different types of music, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's so funny because we've talked about before when we were growing up and Rat was first coming on the scene. You would hear like, Def Leppard, special guest star Rat. Lawrence Welk, special guest star Welk.
Yeah, they
Rat.
opened up for anybody.
Conway Twitty, special guest star Rat. But they got their name out there. I mean, they were there. It was everywhere.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
But a lot of these guys and gals make Nashville home. So I mean, it must be a good place for them to do some songwriting and studio time, for them and all that kind of stuff. I know that who's the gentleman from Tommy Shaw? I was trying to think of Tommy Shaw. He loves Nashville, lives here.
What a voice!
Yeah,
what a voice!
yeah,
Wow.
fantastic. And I think Mick Mars now lives here or spends a lot of time here. But I've got a good story for you before we get out of here. My my stepson works for a racing performance company, and he was out in L.A. doing some work for him, and was on a plane back to Nashville, and he sits next to this guy. And the guy looks down at him and says, "Man, I love those shoes. Where'd you get it?" He's talking about his shoes and where'd you get them shoes and all that stuff. He goes, "I get some of those." And they're talking through the trip and all that. And he goes, "Well, he goes, I play Nashville some." He said, "Let me give you my card that has my manager's, stuff on it and all that. And get in touch with him when I'm in town and all this." He goes, matter of fact, I'm going to Nashville to see him. And he goes, "Have you ever heard of a guy named George Thorogood?" I'm like, "What?"
My goodness!
I'm like, "Are you kidding me? You're sitting with George Thorogood? Couldn't you put the D&D name in his head for us?"
Wow!
I'm like, "You got to be kidding me." He goes, "Yeah, he plays that Bad of the Bone." I said, "George Thorogood? You sit next to him all the way from L.A.?" Yeah, he goes, "He was a nice guy." He was like,
killer.
"Yeah, he was just chit-chatting away with me and all that." But anyway, so yeah, apparently those a lot of those folks come to town, so that's neat stuff.
For sure.
Neat.
You never know who
Yeah.
you're going to run into.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, before I get out of here, because I don't think I asked you this, either one of you guys when you were on, has anybody from the actual bands heard your work or kind of, voiced out to you at all over the years?
No, well, I don't know if they've actually gotten online or seen any videos or anything. Not specifically, but I did meet Ann and Nancy in person at a meet and greet at their show. I told them that I had a tribute band, and they were very, very kind, and and nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was great. And then
Yeah.
online on Facebook and Instagram, I follow, and he follows me, is Roger Fisher, their original guitar player for Heart.
Yep.
And so, we've chatted over time here and there, and he made a comment one time, and he said, "Keep it alive, girl. Love it." So he was really
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I bet that's a lot of feedback that these artists would say. I bet that's a lot. I bet they love it. Most of them love that you're keeping it alive.
That's a great segue too, DC. Most of them.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. Journey is interesting. It's a very interesting thing. So Neil Sean has he's basically he's the only founding member that's left in the band now.
Yeah.
Jonathan Kane came later, of course.
Yes.
in
Yes.
the 80s and started writing some of their hits. But I've had some conversations with Neil over social media, over email, and it's interesting. Sometimes it's hey, great job, sounds awesome, love what you're doing, and other times it's where's my money? Because that's Neil Sean, and I'm like, well, Neil, the venues pay your ASCAP and BMI and CSAC dues, so you're getting your money. That's definitely number one. But he's very picky. He does not really condone or support tribute bands, and I can understand.
Interesting.
Because I'm going to be honest, I've got a good ear. I think every fan of music does. There's some good ones and there's some not so good ones.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of these original acts are probably thinking, "Wow, I kind of wish the bad ones would stop doing that and making our music bad." And then there's others, that do it in a much better way, and of course, are celebrated. But the other story I can share is really fun. One of my former drummers, Jim Handley, he was with Resurrection for, oh my goodness, 7 years. And during that time, we had basically this backstage pass to Things Journey, because he actually was Journey's drum tech.
Drum tech, right? If
2001
this guy I'm thinking
2008.
of, yeah.
So he had some great stories to share, and I won't put it all out here on the web, but there was one particular moment, and I think this was back in maybe 2019 or 2020. He received a call from Craig Crampth. Craig was the drummer on the Oh Sherry track. So him and Craig are friends. Craig is friends with Steve Perry. So he receives this phone call out of the blue. "Hey, Jim, it's Craig. How you doing? I've got Steve Perry here. He wants to chat." So he hands him the phone. Jim gets on the phone and has a conversation with Steve Perry. He's like, "Hey, Steve, what's happening? And how are you? And what can I do for you?" And he's like, "Hey, man, I just want to let you know that Craig was showing me some of this stuff that you do with this band Resurrection. And I just want to let you know, man, that this is really nostalgic. Appreciate what you're doing." So,
that's fantastic.
yeah, two different, like I said, opinions.
Viewpoints. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really cool. And I think I've said this before when I've been out on the road talking to fans. When you find out that the people that you're replicating, the music that you're doing your best to replicate, when they show you any type of attention, you're done. I can go to my grave tomorrow and go, Steve Perry and Neil Sean know who I am. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal to have your heroes recognize you.
That is
right.
awesome.
That is right.
That is awesome.
That makes
and DC, I'm going to steal one
That's
of
awesome.
Ryan's lines that he said there.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my money?
I
I hadn't got paid for this thing in 4 years.
Keep looking.
Just tell them the check's in the mail, DC.
Yeah.
Right.
It's in the mail.
Don't
Right.
mail
And
it,
I
just
wouldn't
bring it.
cash it.
Hey, don't
I'm you, I wouldn't cash it.
Don't mail it. Just bring it to work. I know where you work. We're all good.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, you know where I work. That's
Same
for sure.
building. It's all good.
You haven't figured it out yet, DH. You're not getting paid money. You're getting paid Waffle House.
Ah, that's what it is. See?
Ryan, you're
Is,
correct
yes.
on that. I get worn out on that.
And you know
Yeah.
what? For a guy my age that likes Waffle House, that's a lot better than money. So keep it coming, DC.
I'm game.
Keep
Don't tell
losing,
Doug,
DC.
Shareen,
Keep
but I'm
losing.
game.
Now, see, hey, come on down. It's right there, the one right there on Sam Ridley. Every Friday morning, 6 a.m. Come
We'll
join
be
us.
there.
No,
Matter
I
of
might
fact,
pop in.
Ryan,
Yeah,
I tell you
absolutely.
what, you guys, y'all come on down. DC will buy for everybody. It's all
Yeah,
good.
I'm used to doing that. So That's very true.
If DC wins, I have a thing where I buy his third refill of coffee. So
Right.
There you
and he's
go.
only allowed 2, so it's all good.
You guys are great.
Oh wow. Well, we've thoroughly enjoyed it,
yes.
guys.
Thank y'all so much.
We'll catch up with you again in the future for sure.
Yes, thank you.
You're a part of our family for
Oh,
sure.
yes.
We
Sounds
appreciate
great.
you.
so much.
We're gonna get out there and see you guys too, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
We'll be the 2 bald-headed big guys on the front row screaming and
No,
hollering.
you keep in touch. You keep in touch. We'll get you some guest passes to one of the shows coming up.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
And we will
We
be
appreciate
there,
that.
and we'll even, with your permission, we'll even do some live remotes.
We'll
while
do
we're
some
there.
live stuff
Put
for
some
you.
things out.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
we'd
Be
love
fun.
to.
That
Yep.
sounds
Love
great.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Can you guys
All right.
hang as we close it out?
Absolutely. Hey,
Okay.
don't forget journeyheartmusic.com.
Yes,
Absolutely.
check it out, folks. You will not be disappointed.
Check them out. Yeah, fantastic folks.
Yes,
Great musicians.
amazing.
And
Yes.
we appreciate their time. Very talented folks.
Yes. All
Thank
right,
you all.
ladies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for another episode of D&D Dynamite 80s. We'd like to thank our guests, Ryan and Shareen, for joining us tonight. Been an amazing show. Thank y'all so much.
Fun. Yep.
Welcome to the family. Our condolences, as we said, whichever you prefer, but you're with us now, so it's all good. All right, so folks, we would like to tell you where you can find us. You can find us on Anchor, Spotify.
Well, maybe.
Maybe.
We might want to tell them.
We might. Well, we'll tell them. They may not.
Yeah,
wanna
we'll
go
tell
there,
them.
but
We
we're
don't
gonna-
know if they want to
Hey,
go
we're
find
gonna,
us.
I'm going to tell them right now where to go.
Okay.
Folks, I'm going to tell
Okay.
you where to go right now. We're going to go to Anchor, Spotify, Breaker Radio, Radio Republic, YouTube. I still call it Twitter, and I'm going to stick with that. In the
Yeah,
Twitter
me
sphere,
too.
Instagram, TikTok, on our Facebook, on our website, Google Podcast, all D&D Dynamite 80s. A couple of shout outs. Nashville Voyager Magazine did an article here a while back. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, we do.
Canvas Rebel just recently did an article on us, so we appreciate that as well. We're also have been now for a while members of the Canyon Star TV family.
I can't believe they put this on TV.
Such an amazing organization, dude.
It is.
they
They
had to
are
have a-
awesome.
They had to have a tax write-off. Here we are.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Okay, I got you.
But amazing
Yeah,
people at
great
Canyon
folks.
Star.
We appreciate them.
Family-oriented entertainment. Check them out. It's a free app.
It's a free
that you can get on.
thing to you.
Now,
Yeah.
we do have to fulfill our contract. So
Go ahead, DH.
when's it going to be your week?
I'm not doing that.
All
You're
right,
the one
so-
that does that.
So part of our contract with Canyon Star is a lot of their folks do home gardens and everything. And so they need scarecrows. So every week we have to provide them with a picture they can take for their scarecrow. Now, folks, this one's going to make your grass turn brown. That's how bad this one's going to be. Are you ready?
That's pretty
There you go.
bad.
There you go, folks. So put that one out. Your grass will turn brown. Your neighbors will leave. It's all good. So, folks, as always, I throw it over to DC. It doesn't cost anything extra to be kind. So always be kind to each other. DC?
Good. Hey, amen, brother. Amen. Real quick. Tomorrow night we got a special show. We're going to do a catch-up show.
Time out. You're making me do 2 shows in 1 week.
Sorry, buddy. We have to squeeze it back in.
Do I
So
get
we're
double
gonna-
pay? Do I get double pay?
You'll get
right.
double pay.
Double
So-
0 is 0. I'll take it. All right.
Right. No, we're going to be honored to have Elizabeth Gorsey
Yes.
on. She's an
Yes.
actress and artist from the original Footloose movie
Yeah.
and Teen Wolf and all kinds of those 80s movies. Elizabeth's done all of those shows, and so we're excited about having her
Oh,
on.
definitely.
We're going to take closer to Thanksgiving. We'll take off, but we'll do a Monday show of that week. Jim Keller, the guitarist from original guitarist from Tommy Two Tone,
Yes.
will be on, and so we're excited about it. He's got his own individual project that he's working. So we'll catch up with Jim Keller as well. So yeah, a lot on the plate, man.
A lot going on, brother. We have been very blessed. I mean,
Yes, we have.
this is year 4 we're moving through, and we are so blessed to have people that continue to want to be on the show. I'm not sure why they want to be on the show. But
They
we're
haven't
very
been
blessed.
experiencing it yet. That's why.
We're very blessed to have our guest, and we really appreciate everyone,
Yeah,
and we appreciate everyone that tunes in and joins our family and listens every week and gives us comments. All of your bad comments go to DC.
Yeah, I'm the
Good
complaint
comments,
department.
Yeah. So, and if you send them to me, I'll forward them to him anyway. So it's all
Yeah,
good.
I get them anyway.
So, but I think the biggest comment we get, DC, is find some guest hosts. So, I mean, hey, it all works
Right.
out.
We like when you have your guest host
Yes.
on. Yeah, yeah.
But no, we are very blessed and very honored to do this.
Yeah, we are. We are. Let's get those sponsors in real
Let's
quick.
do it.
DND Dynamite 80s would like to thank their sponsors, Hudson's Flags and More, Nesting Project of Smyrna, Tennessee, PJG Marketing, Totally Cool 80s, Charlie Bubbles Cares for Kids,
The Vooch,
Jackie's Creations on Facebook, Riley Rhodes Art Designs at rileyroads.art on Instagram, and the Magic Yarn Project.
Yes.
You can find all these great folks online.
Hey, folks, we ask that
Sign that guy up.
Yeah, sign him up and pay him double. Hey, folks, we ask that you check out a couple of organizations. We are very blessed to be members of their family and kind of help support the Magic Yarn Project. What they do,
It's wonderful.
It's a group of volunteers. They make head coverings like Princess head coverings,
Superheroes
for children that are battling cancer. So they do that. There's no charge to the kids. All of it's volunteers.
All of them are volunteers all over the country. Yeah.
Please help support the Magic Yarn Project.
Magic Yarn Project. They're
Also,
fabulous people.
Yes. Also, Charlie Bubbles Cares for Kids. Another amazing organization. And as teachers, we know how important literature is and reading is. What they do is with their donations, they provide books for kids that may not have
cannot afford
a way
one
to get a book.
Yeah.
So our dear friend, the Vooch,
actor Paul Karafotis, great guy. Yeah.
Great guy.
And author. He's a children's author as well. So that's his organization. Yeah.
And
foundation.
We're very fortunate to be able to partner with those organizations and give some things back, which is something DC and we really want to do with this show. So anything you can do to help those organizations, please do.
All right. Ryan and Shareen and DH, I am DC. We appreciate y'all joining us tonight. We had a ball, guys. We appreciate you. And as DC always kind of leads us out, keep playing those 80s, my friends, and we'll see you next time.
See you tomorrow night, folks.
Thank
Ryan,
you.
Shareen, thank you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you guys. Thank you.
Take care of Bucky, the wooden soldier back there.
Right.
Happy holidays to Buggy. Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We hope to see you real soon.
Yes.
Sounds good. God bless
you
y'all.
too.
You
God
too.
bless.